Hey, what's good, Walking Dead fans? This is the Campfire Crew, and we're here to talk to you about Season 7, Episode 8, Heart Still Bleeding, the mid-season finale. Thank goodness, about time we got a fantastic episode. It's probably one of the best episodes that I've seen this season, and probably in a while. I mean, I really enjoyed this episode quite a bit. It did what the other ones lacked to do, which was give me variety. Like, watching Tara at this one place at the beach for an entire episode almost killed me. This was better. We got to see some of Carol. We jumped over to the hilltop. We did see the kingdom. We saw Alexander. We saw the sanctuary. They bounced around. It was really good pacing. I enjoyed it quite a bit. Had some emotional stuff. Had some action stuff. Had a lot of good things going down. We got 8 moments that we're going to pick out and talk about a little bit more detail. So let's go ahead and jump on that. Let's get it popping up in here, people.
Richard shows up and he asks for Carol and Morgan's help against the Saviors. He realizes they're a problem and they need to be dealt with, and they need to be done now while they think everything's okay. But of course, Morgan and Carol are still going through their stuff. Morgan's scared. He doesn't want to hurt anybody. And you got Carol who's scared if she kills people she cares about will die. But neither of them realize just what happened to Abraham and to Glenn. So they don't know. Richard leaves mad. He said, you're just as guilty for not participating in this, not helping us. So I think eventually they're going to have to get on board with this. They're going to have to team up, which we know Hilltop is going to play a big part, along with the kingdom, along with everyone. They're all going to come together and they're all going to play a part. And Carol and Morgan need to get on board. Now, in another scene, it's interesting because you see Enid and Sasha talking about, and Sasha finally, Enid kind of calls her on her lie that, hey, Jesus left earlier, and explains that, she's trying to find out what's going on. She wants to kill Negan. Now, Enid doesn't say anything about Carl already on his way, but it points out that everyone is all on a mission. They all want to kill Negan. You got, Carl trying to kill Negan. You got Sasha trying to make plans to kill Negan. You got Michonne trying to figure out a way to kill Negan. Everyone wants to kill Negan, but they're not all on the same page. They're all scattered, and they're all trying their own ways to do it. And they really need to come together if they want to take Negan down.
The Lake of Death with Rick and Aaron. Good little scene, and I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again. This show does a really good job of making sure we get our walker action in almost every episode. You're going to get some kind of scene dealing with walkers. Not really suspenseful. They're in the boat, filling full of water. They're sinking. They're paddling with wood. They're fighting them off. Really good scene. I enjoyed it. But at this point in the episode, in the season, within the show overall, man, the walkers are more of a backdrop. They're just part of the environment at this point. If you can go back to season 1 when we saw walkers, it was suspenseful. You was nervous. It was like, oh my goodness, what's going to happen? How are they going to get out of this? Who's going to get bit? Who's going to die? Who's going to live behind? That's not the case anymore, especially when you got your main crew. Like, what they've been through and handled. Just like, Carl could swim this lake and make it. He's so adept now. So there wasn't any suspense. I was watching. I was like, oh, they pulled Aaron in the water. What's it? No, he's going to live. Overall, it was a good scene. They crossed the river. They got to their little cache. Again, it was interesting. Oh, squishy boots popped up at the end. Oh, my goodness. Boy, them boots seen better days. I mean, them boots looked like he joined up with Fellowship of the Rings and helped Frodo hike to Mount Mordor. He took them boots off Aragorn himself. Them boots are wore out. I do have an idea. I don't know who it is. I do have a thought on who it might be. I don't know. We're not sure. I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Daryl finally makes his way out of there after eating as much peanut butter as he possibly can. I don't know. He's probably hungry. But he makes his way out of there and he's about to get there. And who shows up? But the Fat Savior. I think his name's like Fat Joey or Fat Tony or something like that. He shows up and he sees him. He's like, it's okay, man. Go ahead and go. This guy is not wanting to fight. But you know what Daryl says? Daryl says, you know what? I'm going to harness some Negan rage, and I'm going to beat you to death with a pipe. And he does. He beats him just like Negan did. Just bam, just beats the crap out of this guy. And you know what? How can you blame Daryl? He's been locked up. He's been tortured. And it's the first time he's had the upper hand on anybody. And he said, man, I got to get my rage out. And that's exactly what he does. But also turns out that we're going to have a Christmas miracle as Jesus shows up to save Daryl and help him escape. And, so close to his birthday. Isn't that nice of him? Either way, Daryl is out, Jesus helps him, and now we're starting to look good.
Father Gabriel gives advice to Rosita. I like this scene because it is the first non-weird, logical advice that Father Gabriel has ever given since he's been introduced to this show. I mean, Father Gabriel, hey, his character is coming along. He kind of checked Spencer a couple episodes ago, gets out the car. He's starting to stand a little bit more rational. Like he's on Team Rick for sure. He's with him. He's got full support from Gabriel over here. And I liked it because he gave Rosita advice that she should have heeded to. Is like, why do you have to die? Take our time. There will be a time to attack. There will be an opportunity, even if we have to create one. But we need to do it together. And this kind of the underlining theme that you get from all these little different sections was togetherness. Like we got a lot of people out here who want Negan dead, and everybody wants to go about it their own route. But we realize, no, we need to do it together. Basically, we need to get Rick on board. And when Rick gets on board, everybody follows suit and we can make things happen. Good job, Father Gabriel.
Aaron forgets to take the message out in the box that basically says, you got this, and it's got a little picture on it, and that makes the Saviors mad. And they start beating the crap out of Aaron. And Rick wants to help, but he can't. And it's just, all this is taking place while you have Spencer, who's trying to be Mr. Diplomat and try to work things out with Negan. And it seems like he's doing a good job until he says, why don't we just replace Rick? You kill Rick and I'll take over. That was the problem right there. And he doesn't realize it. But in classic comic book style, Negan cuts him open to see if he's got any guts. Everything about this was just out of the comics. And what's funny about this is that Negan does this, and then later he tells Rick, hey, I'm doing you a favor. I think he really thinks he's doing Rick a favor. That's the funny thing about the relationship between Negan, Rick, and Carl as well, is that Negan kind of likes them. But he's not, it doesn't mean he doesn't gonna be who he is. Would he ever do anything to him? You don't think so. He actually, in his mind, I think he thinks that he did Rick a favor by taking out Spencer. But either way, moving on to the next one.
Michonne finally sees where Negan lives, and she's shocked. She looks at it, she's like, oh my goodness. Realizes that there's more than she even thought, that they loaded down there. They stacked. That was good. It was a pretty interesting scene. Overall, I thought it was going to be more impactful, but since the ending went the way it went, we got a lot of people who sing the Sanctuary. This was Rick now, so I guess that information was not that pivotal, other than the fact that she might have had an awakening, and that leads to the speech she gives Rick that leads Rick to do what he's going to do later. But yeah, pops old girl in the head with a silencer. I don't know. Cool.
Michonne gets back after seeing just how expansive the Savior's base is. And she tries to give Rick a pep talk. So, come on, Rick, listen, we know we got to be together on this. We got to take this back. And Rick says, yeah, I'm aware of that now. I've worked out my, submissive demons, and I'm ready to be back and be the dominant force that I am. Michonne gets happy. They're happy. They kiss. And then they head to Hilltop. And they're happy to be there. They see everybody. And then they're reunited with Daryl. And it's a very emotional scene. Everybody's hugging. Everybody's happy. Everyone's excited. Daryl pulls out none other than the Colt Python that belongs to Rick. And Rick has his gun back, symbolizing he's got his power back. He's ready to go. And they go inside ready to make a plan, really kicking off what I think next year, half of the season, will be a lot better. And for those who have been disappointed by this, guys, it's coming. It's happening now. Get excited because next season is going to be great.
Rosita pops a shot, hits Lucille. Negan flips out. Big mistake. Negan flips out for real. Like, I thought this was funny. He's like, what the freak, man? You shot Lucille. I thought he was going to be flipped out about a bullet almost hit him. He was flipping out about Lucille. A perfect, beautiful, smooth surface is ruined now. Like, he was flipping out, and you knew it was about to get real. I wouldn't have been surprised if the bat would have come down on her head right then at that moment, but they didn't. They did a little bit different. Olivia gets shot in the face, and then my favorite scene from this whole thing. Oh yeah, they take Eugene. Hey, give me your bullet maker. How this motherfucker knew that brass was homemade that quick, I don't even know. I don't know if he has experience with bullets like that, where he's looking at shell casings, but real quickly he was just like, "Where'd you get this bullet? Who made this bullet? This is a homemade bullet." He went Sherlock Holmes mode really quick, especially after almost getting killed and flipping out the way he was. I thought that was like, dang, man, nigga knows a lot about bullets. But anyway, they got Eugene, they shot Olivia, and the thing I like most about this scene was it was overshadowed because of everything that was going on, but it was when Negan was snitching on Carl. I actually thought it was funny. Negan was just like, you know, I'm doing you a favor. And he was like, your boy hid in the back of a truck, rode to my crib, and then shot up my people with a machine gun. And like Rick just gives that, you know, that look like, I can't believe, you know, you go to the principal's office, your kid done something bad or in front of somebody that you don't approve of, but you don't want to snap in front of nobody. And you kind of looking at your son like, boy, you gonna get it when we get home. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what you're thinking in your mind, but you can't pop off right then. It was just overshadowed. I thought it was great. I thought it was hilarious. And if you think about the gravity of the situation, that one act that Carl did was huge. I mean, it jeopardized all of Alexandria, and it was still overshadowed based off the events that was going on. So you know you got a good scene when that's not even the main thing that happened. Anyway, guys, that is the video for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Again, this episode was great, and I hope the second half of the season follows this pacing. And I feel like that it's going to. You know, Rick's on board, the team's on board, they're back together, we're ready to handle business, we're ready to get stuff done. It's going to be recruiting everybody and formulating a plan and then, you know, doing what it is they got to do. So I'm excited, and the show needed some help. They needed this episode in a bad way because people have been complaining. A lot of people come to me talking about, this is boring, my brain hurts watching this. And it was for a good payoff. I do enjoy the payoff. I just think they could have done the first half of the season a little bit different and got the same effect with more engagement throughout. But anyway, it's over. It's done. We're ready to move on. Look to the future. Negan, here we come. Anyway, guys, like the video if you like it. Subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. And until next time, guys, we're out.